Can you see the screen? Let me know. I just need to know that everyone can see it globally, clearly. Okay, we're looking good. Right, guys, so today we are here to discuss the pinnacle of what we do at ITPM, which is the Thailand mentoring program, and what we've termed as the secrets of the ITPM Thailand mentoring program. What does that really mean? It means why we get the best results out of our students on that program, okay? Hopefully today, we're gonna give you some information that helps you to really understand in the bigger picture what needs to be done as a retail trader to really become successful at this, okay? So instead of becoming someone who works as a trader on the professional side, someone who holds down a full-time job, a full-time career, has their family, has their hobbies and interests, but trades as an endeavor as well, okay? A retail trader, so someone who is defined as a retail trader, what needs to be done, and what infrastructure we have at ITPM in order to help you get to the top, okay? So really the secrets of the ITPM Thailand mentoring program are taking someone from nothing on that journey to becoming something, okay? And that's basically what ITPM is all about. But the pinnacle of what we do, the Thailand mentoring program, is the fast track to achieving that for a retail trader, okay? Right, guys, so Thailand mentoring program, if you don't know about it, the details of how it works, it's 10 days in Thailand on location. The next one is April 17th to 26th, 2025. You get all of our online programs included, and the online programs are actually a prerequisite for joining the program, okay? After the 10 days in the classroom, in the 5-star hotel in Thailand, and everything's included, by the way, in the price, you do a 12-week program with myself or Edward Sheck, where we're speaking to each other every week on Zoom, and you're trading live with real money, and it's your own money, okay? The minimum amount of capital that we need you to put in your trading account is $50,000. So that's if you end up doing a program with Shecky, that's the minimum, if you go with Shecky. If you go with me, it's $100,000, okay? We have a total of 18 places for the next one, and 5 places have already gone. So basically a year in advance, we've only got 13 places remaining, okay? We may extend it to 24 and bring another mentor in. But basically, guys, if you want to secure either myself or Shecky for the 2025 program, you need to book soon. Okay, so the background of ITPM is quite important, guys, in terms of how we've progressed, because there's a lot of secrets in that background and how they've come to fruition as to how we get the best results out of our traders, especially on the Thailand mentoring program. So when it comes to the program itself, who actually attends the program? Well, first of all, historically, most of the people that attend the program are from North America, US and Canada, okay? In 2024, however, most people, so this is the April that's just gone, most people came from Europe and the UK. So there's been a bit of a slight change this year in terms of demographic. I think it might be something this year to do with the cost of flights or the time that people have to give up to go to leave work if you're in the US or Canada to come over. Historically, it never used to be the case, but it might be an interesting trend that we see if it goes forward like this. But typically, North America, US, Canada is number one, about half the students, and then Europe, UK usually makes up the second largest demographic in the group. And then we get a lot of Westerners who live in Southeast Asia. Some Southeast Asian locals are a minority that come as well. But also Aussies, we get a lot of Aussies coming as well. We had Aussies on this one that we had in April and is currently running at the moment. In terms of age, The market doesn't care about how old you are, guys. It cares about how hard you work and if you get it or not, okay? We've had people as young as 15. So we had a guy pre-COVID, I think it would have been 2018. He wanted his son to come. His son was 15 at the time. And he was going to trade through his dad's trading account in the US. But I basically said to the dad, I can't babysit your 15-year-old for 2 weeks because I'm just going to be busy on the program. So you're going to have to come as well. So he took a room at the hotel and he chaperoned his 15-year-old kid to Thailand. We had in 2022, our oldest retail trader that attended the Thailand program. He was 77 years old from the UK. And he's in our Discord still, in the society Discord where all mentoring program students exist. And he's very active. He's a very cool guy. Age doesn't matter, guys. So first of all, if you're a little bit older, if you're a little bit of an older guy in your 50s, 60s, 70s, we get this question a lot about the Thailand program. Is it too late for me, Anton? Will I understand it? Do I have the energy to do it? How much time commitment do I need? Etc., etc. If you attend the Thailand program, and if you attend even our online programs, okay, if you have the desire to do it, if you have the means and the confidence to do it, okay, the ambition to do it, you will succeed. Like, our information is definitely good enough for you to succeed, even with our online programs, okay? But if you attend the Thailand program, your chances are much, much higher because we're literally doing 10 days face-to-face in the classroom, like you can see in the photo here. This photo, I believe, is from our 2022 program, or one of the programs in 2022. So this is, I think, October 2022. And actually, if you've seen some of our YouTube videos, you can see here Gunter and Phil, who I mentored in 2022. You can see them here, yeah? So these guys, we made a YouTube video and you can see their returns online. You can see all of their spreadsheets, all of their trades. It's all there. You can see exactly how we do things on the program. So, you know, what's quite cool for me is the seat that I sit in. You know, I'm sitting here. And I remember if we have a photographer come in, we have them come in to the classroom usually on the first day, okay? So on the first day, we're sitting here and I don't know who's going to succeed, who's going to be the best out of the best, etc., right? And I look back at these photographs and think, isn't it crazy that these guys were up like 100% in their first year? And in fact, Phil is still going and he's up 200% still now, okay? So Gunter took a little break from trading, but Phil kept going and he's up over 200%, okay? So, as mentioned earlier, the only requirement for you to be on the Thailand program is that you've completed the IPLT, PTM, and the POTM video series. These are our three main online programs, okay? So IPLT, Introduction to Professional Level Trading, PTM, Professional Trading Masterclass, and the Professional Options Trading Masterclass, okay? Now, you don't need to subscribe to them first and then upgrade to the Thailand mentoring program later. You can do it that way if you want. That's totally fine. We've got lots of alumni on here that have done online programs. If you're alumni and you're thinking about attending the Thailand program in 25, you can do it that way. If you're a first timer and you want to go straight on the Thailand program, book the Thailand program, you can obviously book it up front and we give you access to all those programs and you've got a year to complete them. So plenty of time for you to do it. All the online programs are completed in the mentoring package. The attendees themselves, you know, if we're talking about who's actually going to be on the program, most of them will not have worked in the financial industry, but the vast majority will have had some experience with trading or investing their own money in the past. And there's no shame in actually being someone who's struggled, okay? We know at ITPM how difficult it is for retail traders to get hold of proper information, okay? Like having losses as a retail trader is not abnormal. It's actually completely normal, okay? So there's no shame in turning up to ITPM and saying, you know, Anton, I lost $10,000. I lost $25,000. There's a bit of shame showing up if you say, Anton, I lost $500,000 or $1 million, you know, something crazy, because that means you are being extremely irresponsible. You know, if that's a high percentage of your net worth, then you're being extremely irresponsible. Okay. Either way, it doesn't matter if you've lost 10, 25, 50, 250, 500. We can fix that. We can definitely fix it. But what's happening is most people who attend the program will have had some experience trading, and most attending the program will have had difficulties, okay? But here's one of the keys and one of the secrets to the ITPM mentoring program, Thailand program, okay, is that the hurdle to get in financially is quite high, okay? You saw the numbers earlier, where we require you to put at least $50,000 in your trading account if you're doing your program with Shecky, or 100,000 with me. On top of that, there's the school fees as well, okay, the educational fee. You can't be dumb, stupid, lazy in life, or not be in some way a little bit successful, okay, to be able to afford to come on the program. Generally speaking, the guys that attend the program are pretty smart people, and they've excelled in another discipline, okay? Otherwise, they just wouldn't have been able to afford to be on the program. So generally speaking, we do get a higher caliber of retail trader on the Thailand program, okay? And generally at ITPM. In terms of the classrooms, are they theoretical? Are we going to be sitting in the classroom theorizing about what the world is going to look like in 15 years' time and coming up with sexy futuristic narratives like you get on YouTube from all of these talking heads in financial media? No, not at all. The theory at ITPM is done online in the online programs. When we go to the Thailand classrooms, it's all practical, okay? Because we're preparing to trade for real with real money. So the Thailand program is like, the 10 days is like the bridge from theory and the online world into the real world, okay? So we're teaching you how to implement it properly at an advanced level, okay? So what are we doing? We're looking at what's happening in the world in real time. So we're looking at news flow, global catalysts, stock catalysts, valuation changes in the market, valuation changes in sectors and stocks, and price targets. And what's the goal here? The goal is to put money to work. Everyone who turns up to the Thailand program has been through the online programs already, taken the exams, and they all come to the table at the same level. So we bring everyone up at the same pace, okay? But everyone's already funded their trading accounts. So their trading accounts are open and they're ready to trade. They're ready to push the button, okay? We don't come up with hypothetical trade ideas, outcomes from ancient history, theories from textbooks, looking at theoretical investment strategies. And there's no unhelpful jargon or nonsense that we verbally spew across the table, okay? It's all highly practical with the intention that you're going to trade now, okay? And if we find trade ideas on the program, in the classroom, that are good and they're good enough to put on, you're going back to your room to put them on in the evening. So we go out for dinners, typically every other evening as a group. And we usually finish up in restaurants between 9 and 10 p.m. And people who are putting on positions actually go back to their rooms at the hotel and put positions on and then go to bed, okay? People are going back in the evening after dinner to trade a few hours of the US session, okay? We are putting trades on. It's highly practical. So you will be leaving the program with positions on, as long as you come up with good trade ideas, and the ability to plan your trades out in stocks, stock options, using the ITPM decision-making process, the systematic process, which is consistent, logical, and repeatable, okay? So because of that, the Thailand mentees, these 10 days in the classroom are very valuable. The Thailand mentees have got a very high level of confidence that there's no reason for them to be unprofitable other than them just not putting in the work, as in a lack of effort, okay? If you put in the work, the information on the program, the information in the classroom, if you respond to that and put in the work, you're going to make money. You're going to do well, okay? So the classroom sessions, very, very interactive. This photo you're seeing on the screen here is a month ago. This is the most recent group. So that's me on the first day teaching the group. It's a very interactive sessions. We run the classroom seminars in the same way as a hedge fund morning meeting, okay? So people are coming to the table with their trade ideas before, that they've got trade ideas before they show up in Thailand. So they're bringing them to the table, and we're going through an entire program of finding the best trade ideas and going through advanced structuring with options that you just can't do unless you're doing it in person, okay? So this is one of the edges, one of the secrets of the Thailand program is in this 10 days, because we're doing it face-to-face, we can even go higher than a normal mentoring program, than a remote mentoring program. Because we're doing it face-to-face, we can really do a deep dive into advanced options strategies, which basically put the odds massively in your favor of making money. As in, if you repeat and repeat and repeat the processes, it's really, really difficult for you to lose money. In terms of the classrooms, pretty much all prior students have described all of the conversations in the classroom that we have amongst the group as very rigorous, very straight to the point, straightforward and concise, okay? Why do we do it in this way? Well, we just don't have the time to mess around. We've got you in Thailand for 10 days and we want to turn you into trading beasts. We want you to go back to where you're from, sit down at your desk, and over 12 weeks, kill it and make loads of money. We don't have time to mess around. So we're in the classroom and we're very, very attentive, very concise with our speech and our responses, okay? We do it this way because it's how professional traders do it. This is not practice trading, guys, okay? It's not demo trading or any nonsense like this. It's real trading to a professional standard. And this is the way professional traders do it. In terms of your questioning, you know, if you're coming on the program as an individual within a larger group, there's obviously often concerns, you know, will individuals have their own specific questions answered? And the answer is yes. But we have one rule. It's called the midnight rule, okay? Often we'll go out for dinners and drinks, and we're happy to answer questions at dinners and drinks, even outside the classroom. That's totally fine. If you ask a question at 11:59 p.m., fine, we'll answer it. Once the clock strikes 12 midnight, we stop answering questions, okay? So 11:59 and 59 seconds, we'll answer a question. As soon as it turns 12, we're not answering questions, okay? 12 midnight and 1 second, we're finished. So we're available for 10 days, guys, and then the 12 weeks after, obviously, okay? And, you know, myself and Sheki, yeah, that's actually a nice name given to it from someone in the Q&A, the Cinderella rule. Yes, we don't go home at 12 every time, but we stop answering questions for sure. So the Cinderella rule, I'll bring that in. That's a good one. So yeah, guys, you know, sitting around in Thailand in the classroom with us, myself, Sheki, we may bring another mentor in at a later date to this program, but also just going out with each other for dinners and drinks and stuff like this every night. we've got a broad wealth of experience in financial markets, and we'll be giving you very straight to the point, unbiased and actionable views. Okay, we all trade our own money, and we've been doing it for years. We're in there still doing it almost every day. Okay, so you're not going to be short on information here, and you will get your specific questions answered, obviously. Now, another big thing about the program, the network effect. Okay, I've already mentioned with the group themselves that we tend to get a higher caliber of retail trader at ITPM generally, but on the Thailand program, even higher than the rest of ITPM. There's a hurdle, obviously the financial hurdle, which kind of eliminates a lot of people that haven't succeeded in other areas of their life yet. You know, it may be yet to come. But at any one moment in time when we're running a program, the people that come on a specific program, generally they're a higher caliber, okay, than the average retail trader. They tend to get things faster. There's a better understanding by the time they've left the program than 99% of retail traders on the planet of how the financial markets work and how to make money in financial markets consistently. They're just easier to work with, okay? The network effect is big because if you're one of these people that can make it onto the program, you've got this network for life, okay? You've all been through the experience together, and you're all on the Discord server, which is for mentoring program attendees only at ITPM. So it's the highest level Discord server at ITPM, called Society at ITPM, okay? So, and even with the Discord server, we have channels in there for every area of the world where people can arrange to meet up together. Frequently, we get people who are traveling between countries, and they're saying, for example, I'm going to be in Switzerland next week. Let's meet up with Switzerland ITPM alumni. And people literally have nights out together, go to bars, restaurants, and people are always with relationships within ITPM, leveraging their network for trade ideas, themes in the market, a better understanding of financial markets, swapping resources, etc. It's a big deal. So what we've noticed over the years of doing this program is the network effect over a medium to longer period of time is very powerful, and it really pays dividends. Now, in terms of the trading industry now, we obviously operate in a remote world now, guys, especially after COVID. COVID accelerated everything. I've been doing it for years, by the way. I mean, I've been operating remotely before COVID for a decade, right? So I don't count myself as a trendsetter in that respect. It was just the natural order of things. But COVID accelerated it for most people, okay? The trading industry now, anyone can log in from anywhere in the world into their brokerage account and trade. It's just the time zone that's the difference, okay? In terms of our program, you can see this is one of our 2022 programs. We had a lot of guys on this program. Nowhere else on the planet, guys, to my knowledge, tell me if I'm wrong. You know, if you can find another school like ours, okay? Nowhere else gives you this chance to meet other people who are pre-qualified in terms of the group of people, okay, as having the ability to trade at a professional trader standard, okay? So what do I mean by that? We've got 1,400 retail traders at ITPM that have come through the system, okay? Whether it's online programs only, online programs with a remote mentoring program, or online programs with a Thailand mentoring program. We've got over 1,400 retail traders that have been through the program and trade with their own money, real-time, live in the ITPM infrastructure. We've obviously got a bigger alumni, but not everyone trades within the ITPM infrastructure. we have a minimum of $25,000 to go in your trading account. A lot of people do our programs around the world, and they save up to come into the ITPM infrastructure over a number of years, which is fine. But we have a minimum of 25, and we can't go lower than that because that's just the way it has to be done to have diversification. Okay. But nowhere else except ITPM, guys, to my knowledge, gives you that network. Where can you get that network? It doesn't exist, guys. It only exists at ITPM. So if we invited you into our Discord server, Society at ITPM, which is a $3,000 subscription per year, and it's included in the mentoring programs, okay? If we invited you into that Discord server, you would see just by scrolling through the channels, the history of the channels, the conversations and the resources that are getting shared within the community. It's absolutely top level. It's high level. Like, we're all professional traders and we're in there ourselves using the resources. It's amazing. So what we've built here is a really outstanding network effect, okay? So when you come in, you're going to be leveraging off that network effect forever. And it really helps you with your program as well, because you can always go into the Discord and ask questions directly to the mentors. So you can literally go at Anton Creel, at Edward Sheck, at any of the other mentors' names. You'll meet guys in the Discord server who have been with ITPM for years, who kill it and make loads of money consistently. You can at them. People are happy to answer your questions. Why? Because we were all once you. We totally understand. The guys who have been, at ITPM for 7 years and they're still around, still making money, still doing well. They were once you, and they came online to do the online programs and maybe attended a mentoring program at some point. Okay. People in the community are happy to help each other. It's a really strong network effect. Okay. And just to mention once more, there is a tilt in terms of the success of the retail traders within the community. There is obviously a tilt towards people who have done remote or Thailand mentoring programs. Why? Because we're putting more teaching resource and time into their understanding of how to do things properly. Okay. So yes, it's not like it's impossible for you to make money with online programs only. We have loads of success stories with guys who only do the online programs. But to fast track your success, to get a much higher probability of success, okay, if you do a remote program or a Thailand mentoring program, much more resource and time goes into you understanding and getting it, right? And you're getting a mentor who sits on your shoulder and helps you every week, okay? So, of course, there's a tilt towards the success rates with the mentoring programs. Now, let's cover this. Why ITPM? Well, there's literally thousands of webinars, live seminars that are held globally each year. And the focus in the vast majority of them is technical analysis, price action, day trading, all of this stuff, okay? All of these webinars and seminars, they've been running in the same format since the 1990s, okay? The content is always being, and I quote, taught, yeah, by, open quote, teachers, close quote, okay? It's always being taught by these self-proclaimed teachers, okay? And it's all nonsense. It's all nonsense, guys. It's existed for decades. And just ask yourself a really obvious question. If it has literally existed for the last 35 years, okay, why have the success rates of retail traders never changed? Why? Okay. Obviously, it doesn't work, guys. It doesn't work, okay? We all know the brokerage stats. You should know them by now. In the first year, 90 to 95% of retail traders will lose everything in their accounts within the first year, okay? And 99% are going to lose everything by the end of year 2, okay? Now, some people will protest this and say, no, those stats aren't true, Anton. My account is up. Okay. you're not understanding what we're talking about here. Okay, we're not talking about 401ks, IRAs, pensionable accounts, any of this stuff. Okay, we're talking about after-tax dollars put into a trading account, for example, in the United States. Okay, like the average size of a trading account in the United States is a few $1,000s, and when you think of like brokerage platforms now, like Robinhood, okay, people aren't putting in $25, $50, $100,000 into their accounts. Okay, they're putting in a couple of $100s. This is what we mean by trading accounts. Okay, after-tax dollars going into a trading account, not a retirement account or an investing account. Okay, you're specifically opening an account to trade, right? Now, what you'll see is, because there's regulations, right, with these brokers now, where they have to state what percentage of accounts make and lose money on their platform, but the stats are managed. They're massaged. Okay. So what you'll see is a lot of brokerage platforms will put on their website, 67% of our accounts lose money. Okay. Big warning, guys. That's a trick. That doesn't mean 33% of their accounts are up. 33% of their traders make money. It's a photograph. So imagine you just take a photograph at the end of the month and you say, in the last month, 67% of accounts lost money. Okay. What about the next month? The 33% that were up or flat in the month where they took the photograph, so the most recent month, they're going to be in the 67% in the second month. Okay. So it's a trick. It's to make you think that 33% of traders are profitable. They're not. Okay. The majority of that 33% who are either flat or up in that month will in the next month be part of the 67%. The stats are also manipulated because a lot of accounts are dormant. Okay. So the dormant accounts where they're flat on the month or up because the broker's paying them interest on unused balances, okay, in the account, they're counting them as flat, so not down, okay, or they're counting them as up. So the stats are way worse than you think, guys. Way, way worse, okay? So think of all the effort and all the information and all these teachers online that you see, okay, in the world of trading, and 90 to 95% will be down 90 to 100% in the first year, okay? By the end of the second year, 99% are gone. It's the retail trader carousel. It's the hamster wheel. You open an account, you blow up, you wait 7 months, you save some money, you open again, you blow up in 3 months, 4 months, you wait another 7 months, you save money, boom, you open again, you blow up. It's the retail trader carousel, hamster wheel. It's a well-known phenomenon in the industry, guys, okay? So there's going to be plenty of webinars and seminars for you guys watching today, okay? For retail traders globally in the next 12 months. And all these webinars and seminars are going to be sponsored by brokers, and they're going to be run by charlatan trading educators, okay? They've got no professional background, no professional trading background or pedigree. And they literally have no clue how to trade successfully themselves because they've never themselves had access to professional trader strategies. Now, if you're a retail trader that attends one of these webinars or seminars, you will absolutely, in our experience, because we've seen it for over a decade now, okay, you will remain on the retail trader hamster wheel because you're never actually getting access to the real professional trader strategies yourself, okay? And retail traders that do this over and over again, the carousel, the hamster wheel, typically when they come to ITPM, they've lost 10, 25, $50,000 plus before they realize that they've been duped, okay? All that's happening is they're just getting chewed up and spat out by the markets within a few months. So the big question is here, guys, okay, why would you do it? Again, it's the definition of madness, okay? And the next big question, what the hell is an actual professional trading strategy, okay? And this is the real secret to the ITPM Thailand program, okay? It's the fact that all of us, all the mentors at ITPM, have been on the professional trader side of the industry for many years, okay? And we implement what's called a professional trader systematic process. And it can be taught to anyone, okay? You just need to know how to do it. As I've mentioned before, it's a binary situation. You either know it or you don't, okay? If you don't, you will end up on the retail trader hamster wheel. You end up being in the 99%, okay? So how do we do things at ITPM? I'll take you through some basics of the process, okay? And you'll learn all of this in our online programs, okay? So we start with macroeconomics, so from the top down, okay? Macroeconomic analysis, what are we looking at? Bond markets, both government, sovereign bonds, and corporate bonds. We're looking at spreads a lot, interest rates, absolute and real rates, which brings into inflation expectations and monetary policy, leading indicator surveys, coincidence indicators, and equity sector themes. What does this do for us as traders? Well, a slightly better term for traders in our context is long-short portfolio managers, okay? What this does for us is it gives us a portfolio bias. So it tells us when we look at the macroeconomic environment and our forward-looking expectations, when those expectations shift because of new information, it tells us whether we should be long, short, or neutral in our portfolios. So what is the directional bias, the portfolio bias that we want to have, okay? And the great thing about it is it doesn't have to be a strong bias ever to make serious money. So if you've got 10 positions on, you might have 6 longs and 4 shorts if you want to be net long. If you have a short bias, you might have 6 shorts and 4 longs on. Neutral, 5 versus 5. You can be neutral the vast majority of the time and still make a serious amount of money. You don't have to be a hero and have a big bias to make money. This is a big misconception amongst retail traders, that you have to be like a big hero in trading and have like a really massive, strong view all the time to make big money. You don't. You really genuinely don't. So we get our portfolio bias, but we control our bias. We know that we don't have to have a big view either way, okay? Once we have our portfolio bias, what are we constructing our portfolio out of? Stocks, stock options, okay? So we need to do a quantitative and qualitative assessment, both in sectors and on stocks. And we go through this process to identify outliers, what we call outliers, okay? Outliers in terms of positive and negative, and what we have a strong view on, okay? And then we look into positioning. So when we move on to quantitative, we're looking at sector analysis, the relative value of stocks within a sector against each other, the absolute value of a stock, relative growth estimates, so the speed at which a company is growing, and we're doing qualitative information, so the numbers behind the numbers, so KPIs, key performance indicators, those which are esoteric to a particular stock or within a particular sector. The key performance indicators are behind the revenue and earnings of a company. So if we can see trends and predict KPIs, we're predicting the future revenue and earnings of a company, and we can structure trades around that, okay? What does a typical portfolio look like at ITPM? It's looking like this. We have views on stocks, but we take positions in options, okay? So, for example, position number 1, we might say, okay, this $51 stock, we think it's going up in the next 60 days. We're going to put on a calendar spread. what we call a classic calendar spread. We go long, for example, now going into June, we can put on a long $50 strike call in August, and against it short a $55 strike call in June, and pick up a credit in June to make our entry, our overall cost of entry, lower into the trade. Also, you'll notice from here that we've got call structures for our longs, we've got put structures for our shorts, and we've got a tilted net long bias. So we've got long 6 positions, short 4 positions, okay? Now, of course, your shorts are represented by long puts, okay? So if you think stocks are going down, you can represent your short ideas with long put structures. So basically, we're directional traders over a 20 to 60 day time horizon. We believe stocks are going up. We believe stocks are going down in the next 60 days. How are we structuring our views? We're structuring with 60-day options, okay? 20 to 60-day options. And then when we've exited trades, what are we left with? We're left with our equity curve. What's our job as traders? Our job is to get that equity curve to go up. So this is one of my former students here. We'll get into this in a second, but we're booking money and taking profits, and we're realizing gains all the time, okay? Our job is to make that equity curve go up. It's literally your job as a trader, okay? So first things first, get the equity curve to go up. Secondly, you've got to trade efficiently. So it's not just important to make money. Your statistics have to be good. You have to be optimal at making money, okay? So it's also how you make your money. What does graduation look like for a retail trader when you're coming through ITPM? It takes a year, guys. It takes a year to become highly competent at this, okay? So yes, the first 3 months or so, you're going to be doing online programs. Then the next 3 months, you can be doing a mentoring program, implementing with real money. And then you've got to go and trade by yourself for a good period of time. That can be 9 months afterwards, okay? So you're fully trading for a year, and you're probably doing 125 to 175 trades in that year to get statistical significance, where basically, if you've done that amount of trades and you've done them over a year, okay? So you haven't done 150 trades, for example, in one day. That doesn't make you a good trader, okay? We're talking over a 12-month period here. You've done 125 to 175, so about 150 trades in 1 year. And you've achieved the statistics below that. If you've achieved those statistics over that amount of trades over 1 year, you've got statistical significance. That means it's not an accident, okay? You've actually got skill. You've done this properly. It's really obvious when you see someone who's done it that it's not down to luck, it's down to skill, okay? So absolute return, what's the target? Well, we're trading options. We're going to land somewhere between 50 to 100% most of the time on smaller trading accounts. So 25, 50, 100, 250, 500, a million. We'll land somewhere between 50 to 100, but there is no upper limit. If you get a couple of trades per year, where you get the outlier trades, which can very easily happen, you're doing over 100%, if not well over 100%. Win-loss rate, we're targeting 65-35, but it's okay to have 60-40. Your R score, which is the amount of money that you make on your winners over 1 year, divided by the amount of money that you lose on your losers, we're targeting 2. So you're basically making twice as much money out of your winners versus your losers. We're targeting that number, but if it's minimum 1.5, it's okay. It's a big improvement from where you were before, okay? So if you think about it, if you've got an R score of 2 on a 60-40 win-loss rate, you're obviously doing very well, okay? The underlying portfolio volatility, which is if we weren't trading options and we were trading the stocks, if we look back 6 months, 9 months, and we take a snapshot, a photograph of the portfolio every month, and we work out the volatility at that time of the portfolio, it needs to be somewhere between 20 and 30%, but with low correlation, okay? That's what's going to happen if you're going to get the best results, because what's going to happen is you're going to leverage that volatility with options. And that leverage is going to be, on average, somewhere between 3 to 4 times. And that's why, on average, you end up between 50 to 100% if you do this properly, okay? Average days in a trade, 20 to 25, with some acceptable variation depending on the markets we're in. You know, if we look back at COVID, very fast markets in March, April 2020, obviously that length of time that you're in a trade comes down in very volatile markets. In very non-volatile markets, it gets longer. So it can push out all the way to beyond 60 days, but not too far beyond 60 days, maybe 70 days, okay? But that will drag the average up, and then the average might not be 20 to 25, it might be 28 to 30. That's okay, that's an acceptable variation, okay? If you want to see like more evidence of how this works, guys, for real, go to the Institute of Trading YouTube channel and just search the following videos. So if you want to take a photograph of this screen, totally fine, to remind yourself of the titles that you type into YouTube, or you can just search them on our YouTube channel, Institute of Trading. So one that we did recently with one of Raj's students, meet Sean from Sheep to Shepherd. We've got some of my guys on there. So Sean, the sharpshooter from last year, he made 185 grand on a 400 account in 20 weeks. Dieter, Gunter, Phil, Stefan, one of Sheki's guys, Richard, one of Raj's guys, more from me and Sheki, with Sukrab and Khaled, 193 grand in 14 weeks. You can go searching these guys and just go and look. You'll see that there's a consistent approach all the way through what these guys are doing. Every program is very similar, but with some variation, obviously, depending on the student. But there's basically an 80-90% overlap with everything you see that these guys do, okay? We've got their equity curves here. I pulled their equity curves for you. So Sean from Sheep to Shepherd, this is the result, guys. This is, you know, what we've been through today in terms of like the secrets of the Thailand mentoring program, the secrets of ITPM and how we do things properly. This is the end result of those secrets, okay? We've been doing this for 11 years. We got meet Sean from Sheep to Shepherd. Just, you know, all these equity curves, guys. Sean the sharpshooter, Phil from Austria. They're just left to right, like almost 45-degree lines, right? Gunter, that's the one you saw. That's the one you saw before. Yeah, Gunter up 77% in 5 months. Dieter did really well, up 100% in 6 months. Stefan, one of Sheki's guys, did incredibly well, up over 300 grand. Richard, probably the one of the big outliers of mentoring programs that we've had in the past, up 850% in 10 months. That was a bit of an abnormal situation over COVID. So yeah, guys, we can't put every single guy that we do on YouTube. We just don't have the time for that. But multiply those amounts of those guys in the hundreds, okay? And you will meet them in the Society at Discord server. We've got hundreds of guys doing what they do, okay? So we go through this process that you saw, and then the business at the end is the equity curve, okay? The equity curve is the result. Now we have trade structures at ITPM that become very, very useful on a Thailand mentoring program because we're able to do it face to face. So when it comes to our 20 to 60 day price targets and trade structures and utilizing options, what are we not doing? Okay, I want to go over this first because there's usually a big confusion between what traders do and what investors do, Okay, retail traders really blur the lines between what a trader's remit is and what an investor's remit is. There's a lot of confusion here all the time. Okay, so what we're not doing, we're definitely not going long or short a stock over what we call an investment time horizon. Okay, what is that? It's beyond 60 days. Okay, the only time we will have a situation in our trading accounts that is beyond a 60-day time horizon is when we have on some sort of outlier trade. Okay, where it can be a hedge or a very small position in a stock where we've got a lot of options in the account for a very low price. Okay, and it's what we call a tail risk trade. The typical structures that we'll put on 95% of the time will never be over an investment time horizon. Okay, they're going to be over a maximum of 60 days with catalysts, okay, that move the stock in 60 days, not over an investment time horizon with no catalysts over the next 60 days. Why? Because for traders, that's just dead money. We're looking for, we'd rather put our money into something that's going to move in the next 60 days. So what are we doing? We're identifying through the systematic process fundamental longs and shorts, and then overlaying catalysts over 60 days onto those fundamental longs and shorts. We've got our probabilistic 60-day price targets that we've got through fundamental analysis, valuation, and volatility measures. And we structure the trades with options no more than 60 days in order to maximize the return on investment. Now, we've got directional option structures that we use, of course, on a regular basis that can be learned in the online programs, okay, like the POTM. But the more advanced stuff has to be taught in person. You have to be supervised to do it. Why? Because it can be complicated. And if you misstep and you do something wrong when you're putting the trades on or taking the trades off, it can be catastrophic for your returns. It can really screw things up if you don't understand it properly and you don't execute properly when we need you to do it in a certain way, and you miss the attention to detail and do something wrong. It can cost you a lot of money. Okay, so there's only a certain amount of things that you can teach in an online program when it comes to options. Okay, in terms of directional structures. The advanced stuff can only be taught in person. We have to do it in the Thailand program only. We can do it on remote programs, okay, but the Thailand program has more of an advantage because you have the 10 days in the classroom beforehand, okay? So you've got a higher chance that you're going to get and understand the advanced structures if you're on the Thailand program versus a remote program, okay? So yes, we do teach them on the remote program, but it's easier to get it on the Thailand program, okay? So it's one of the big advantages of the Thailand program is that we get to sit face to face and go through these advanced structures, okay? So what makes this program probably the best option out there globally for any retail trader? Well, as I've mentioned before, we've all got decades of experience here, guys, in trading and also teaching and mentoring retail traders, okay? We're distilling the most useful information from our careers into a period of 14 weeks. So that's 2 weeks on the Thailand program and then followed by 12 weeks on Zoom, real trading. We run our trading accounts as a business, guys, and we know all the tricks of the trade to make the equity curve go higher every month. You know, it's funny, I've got one guy in my group at the moment who's got himself in a bit of a mess because he's got too many options, trade ideas, positions expiring in June, okay? And he could have been down quite big if he didn't have mentoring, okay? The last couple of weeks, I've been going through the strategies to make sure that he doesn't lose money in June. And in fact, he stands a good probability that he's going to make money. Okay. And it's kind of mind blowing, when you see these things for the first time and go, shit, I would just never have thought of that. How to get myself up this month when clearly I should have been down. Okay. His situation is like that at the moment. He's going through these moments, and we've had this discussion in the last 2 weeks where I've said to him, it's actually quite good that you're experiencing this now, because if I wasn't around in 6 months' time and you experience this, you wouldn't know what to do. So it's pretty good that he's experiencing this now, because he knows if he's ever in that situation again, and he probably won't be in that situation again because he knows not to do it, right? But let's say he did, he would know how to handle it. So we know all the tricks of the trade, guys, to get the equity curve to go up. There's very actionable things you can do every week to make sure the probabilities are in your favor to make consistent money, okay? So that's the experience, guys. The experience counts for a lot. No other trading education company, to my knowledge, on the planet does what we do because they just don't know how to do it, okay? Like I said, guys, it's binary. This program and what we do at ITPM, including remote programs as well, this is not an instructional situation where it's just do what I say, yeah. It's do what I do. We do this all the time ourselves, okay? We've got the experience in doing it for decades. So guys, let's summarize here. Secrets of the ITPM Thailand mentoring program. Let's summarize. First one, big one. You get a consistent and repeatable professional trading process. Why does that matter? Well, consistent process input. If your inputs are consistent, your output is consistent. What's your output? In my game, in my business, it's raw. It's just money. It's dollars. It's profit, okay? So a consistent process input in my business equals a consistent dollar output. It's really that straightforward, okay? You'll get the consistent and repeatable professional trading process. Guys coming in. Secondly, guys coming in are well-capitalized retail traders. Why is that important? It's essential, absolutely essential. You need capital to have a well-diversified long-short equity options portfolio. If you don't have enough capital, you can't become diversified. So yes, our minimum for remote programs is $25,000. Our minimum for the Thailand program is $50,000. Classroom format. What are we doing? We're focusing mainly on two things: trade idea generation and trade structuring, equivalent to a hedge fund level morning meeting, okay? And you're going to go home with positions. Group homework, you're put into groups. You'll be leveraging off each other's intelligence and work ethic. That leads us into the next thing, the network effect. You're getting a very reliably smart, well-educated, motivated, and consistently profitable community that you can utilize for life. It's your choice, okay? If you want to make the most of it, it's all there waiting for you. Real professional trader mentors. This is really the key one, guys. Myself and the mentors, we've got over 120 years of experience at investment banks. Pre the Volcker rule, which is very key, because we were basically running internal hedge funds and hedge funds. The competition, we'll call them they, okay? We'll call the competition they. It just can't be replicated, even if they tried. So we get many people trying to imitate us, okay? They can try to look like us, guys. They can try to look like us, but they can never beat us. It's impossible. It's binary information, binary experience. You either know it or you don't, okay? Which leads us on to the next thing, advanced structuring and risk management. You're not just taught in the classroom, obviously. You're taught over the 3 months. The 3 months includes 3 monthly options expiries, okay? Going into those options expiries, during those options expiries, when you're trading them, and then coming out of them, okay? We're going to show you all the tricks of the trade that can only be taught in real time with real dollars, supervised by guys like us. You can't replicate this, guys. Like, having this over options expiries, speaking to guys like us and doing it the way we do it, okay? This can't be replicated anyway, okay? Lastly, running your account as a business, okay? We treat our trading accounts as a business, our equity curve and trading statistics. You need to do the same. So you'll be taught that as well. And that is the end result. That's, the most important thing is, are you making money and how are you making it, okay? Your track record. So you come out of this with a track record. It's gold, guys, it's gold, okay? So guys, we'll come to Q&A in a moment, but they're basically the secrets of the Thailand mentoring program. If you want to join us on the next one, very straightforward. Just send us a message through the website. You'll get sent a questionnaire survey that you have to fill in. And then we jump on the phone and we discuss everything. Next one, April 17th to 26th, 2025. So you've got plenty of time to do the online programs. Plenty of time to open your trading account, fund your trading account, book your flights. That's the only thing that's not included, by the way, flights. Everything else is included in the price. But it is price on application. If you apply, you will get it. Where do you apply? Send us a message through this URL. The URL, you can use it for the Thailand programs and or the remote programs. So if you can't stretch to a Thailand program, guys, just go for the remote program. It's the next best thing. We have very high success rates on the remote program as well. Intake, next one is Q4. So starting in the first week of October, plenty of time over the summer to do the online programs. So guys, that's it for secrets of the Thailand mentoring program, the presentation. I'll be happy to take questions for a while. So I know people are itching to ask questions in the Q&A. I can see people asking it already. So I'm going to minimize my screen here. If you've got any questions, then don't be afraid to put them in the Q&A area.